Hey, so as you guys can see, my weight was up a few pounds this morning. This just goes to show there's a couple different things that could be at play here. The first one would be a lot more salt in my diet, causing some water retention. Could be having significantly more carbohydrates yesterday. Um, could be food volume. Could be the fact that I was up a little bit later last night than I should have been. Getting home from the grappling tournament and then cooking dinner and eating it. There's just a number of different things that can really be it. So it just goes to show that if like fat loss or weight loss is your goal, there's so many different things that could be at play that could be affecting your scale weight, and don't let it screw with your head. It doesn't really matter in a lot of regards. One single day of a higher weigh-in, it doesn't really matter if your trends are overall going down. That's the biggest thing to keep in mind, is that your trends matter way more than what happens on a day-to-day basis. And for me, my goal doing this isn't fat loss, it isn't weight loss, but my overall weight has been trending down. So like one day where my weight does spike a little bit just means that there's something in there that I did to do that. So it could be salt, could be carbs, could be sleep, could be a number of different things. So it just goes to show that like just stick with it, and that your overall trends, what happens more often matters than what happens once a week or something like that. So just thought I would check in and share my thoughts on that. So I'm going to be going through my morning routine, having some coffee, and then going and meeting up with my friends to have coffee and chat about our week, what we got done, what we didn't get done, and what we're going to get done this week. So hey, what's up folks? You're probably wondering where my video is of all the food that I've eaten today. Part of the reason that I haven't made one so far is because I haven't eaten anything. So it is about 3:45 in the afternoon right now, and I have yet to have any meals. This is not an intentional thing. However, I have a new client whose folder I had to get prepared. I also needed to send check-in emails to all of my clients as well, which I do every single week. And time just really got away from me. So I've yet to actually sit down to eat anything today. I've mostly just had coffee and water. And I'm not necessarily super hungry. I have a family dinner that I'm going to be going to a little bit later tonight, about 5:30ish. And I also have a client I'm meeting with in about 15 minutes. So the amount of time that I'm going to have to eat in between here is not going to be a ton. To be honest, I may just continue this and fast and then eat everything at my family dinner. That way I'll be able to enjoy my food. I'll be able to be a lot more sociable. To be honest, right now I'm not necessarily super hungry. This is kind of weird. This doesn't really happen. In the past I have done 24, 48-hour fasts and things like that. Nothing too crazy. So this isn't that out of the norm for me. However, I was anticipating on definitely being a lot hungrier today. So I may actually end up just fasting all the way through to the family dinner I'm going to tonight. I may have a small snack of sorts. So if I decide to eat anything before I go to this dinner tonight, I will hop on here and let you guys know what I'm having. If not, I may just actually take some videos of what I'm eating and weird my family out. Video log being that weird dude at a family gathering who pulls out his phone and takes a video. So this is what I'm going to be having for dinner. Doing my wrap up for the day. So as you could see, I actually fasted the entire day unintentionally, just because I had so much work on my plate. And then also on top of that, I met with two clients, one brand new, which usually takes a lot more time and energy. But it's really worth it to get to know them and get to know them as a person before you start trying to advise any kind of dietary change. What happened was I had brought a lunch with me. I just literally didn't have the time. I had too many things to get done for the day. Wasn't really all that hungry, and so I ended up fasting until the dinner at about 6 tonight, which was totally unintentional and not something I would recommend doing, because it made it very difficult to stay within the 1,500 calorie parameters that I set for myself. You guys got a quick glimpse of the plate that I had at my family dinner, and on there was a kale salad, roasted Brussels sprouts, boiled potatoes, ham, and then these slices of steak that were rolled up with a little bit of blue cheese inside of them. So I had that plate right there, and I'm guessing that plate right there was probably anywhere from like 800 to probably 1,000 calories. And then I went back and I had more boiled potatoes, because I know that they're very high in satiety but really low in calories. I had more of the kale salad as well, and then I had an extra slice of ham. So I'm guessing
I didn't weigh or measure anything, but I'm guessing the first plate of food that I had was right around 1,000 calories. I'm guessing the second plate of food was probably more in like the 300 range. I didn't have a ton of potatoes, but they're pretty low in calories as is. The kale salad was mostly kale. There was a little bit of sesame seeds and a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of it, but no super heavy dressing, and then just a piece of ham. So I don't think that that was too much. When I got home though, one of the big things that I noticed, and one of the reasons that I don't think I'll be trying to do a lot of fasting during this, is when I got home, I was hungry. And I had about 2 ounces of chicken and then about a quarter, half a cup of cottage cheese. And I could tell it was the kind of hunger where if I didn't do something about it, the very next day it was going to make me even more hungry throughout the day, and also probably start digging into my workout. So all day fast like I did today was kind of a stupid decision. In hindsight, it was not a good idea. So a few things that I've been noticing so far during the experiment. I get much colder in lots of environments. I've been wearing a lot more layers. I just get cold much easier. The past few mornings, it's been really difficult for me to wake up, much more difficult than it typically is. Also on top of that, my mood is definitely more unaffected by things. So I'm just less reactive to things, and I don't feel like I have a ton of energy to kind of dedicate to changes in mood or anything like that. So those are three of the biggest ones that I've noticed so far. I'm going to do a much better job of staying consistent with my food intake for the next few days, just because I know what a big difference it makes, and making sure that I get a lot of those really high volume, low cal foods that allow me to stay fuller for a much longer period of time. Everything's good. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning for my next weigh-in. And